then. All right, welcome everybody. I'm Carol Kieser. I'm the Director of Career Technical Education at Wheatland Union High School, and I do a couple other things also. We also have online Mr. Moore, our Assistant Principal, Ms. Shauna Halsey, our counselor over all of the Pirates at Sea program, and Ms. Heather McHugh, my right hand, amazing scholarship queen and everything else amazing. So tonight I'm going to warn you, I am famous for fire hosing people with information. And I'm going to do that again tonight because that's how I roll. We have a lot of information to give to you. And again, I want you to be able to spend most of the evening with your family. So we're going to get that information to you. Because I just kind of go for it, I'm going to have Ms. Halsey watching the chat box. And she is going to be able to answer a lot of your questions as we go along. If there's something she thinks that I'm going to answer in just a few slides, she might not answer you right away. Or she might even interrupt me if it's something that she knows maybe, hey, we haven't thought about this. Let's bring that up real quick. So I'm going to share my screen to you. And so this presentation, we're going to be talking about our Pirates at Sea Academies, which is an early college access program. We're also going to talk about our AP classes because that is really an integral part of this Pirates at Sea program. And we have figured out a way for high school students to earn anywhere from, I don't know, 3 credits really, if they just want to take one class, up to 60 college credits while they're still in high school. And students, we actually have a number of students right now who are on schedule to graduate with their associate's degree even a week before they're going to graduate from high school. So they will graduate from high school and be able to enter a 4-year university as a junior. And we're going to show you how that's possible. There's a lot of great things about this program that you're going to hear. You're going to come up with tons of questions. The way that we're able to do this is really tied to some grants that we have that are for our CTE pathways, particularly an agriculture pathway, a business pathway, an education pathway, and a new patient care pathway. Now, if you're saying my student doesn't want to go into any of those careers, it's okay. They can still apply and be a part of Pirates at Sea, even though we're tying them to this grant that is for CTE pathways. We're going to be able to customize their education to meet their individual career goals. So I just want to put that out there that while we may say this is, they're going to be part of a business pathway or an education pathway, we're picking the pathway for them, or you're picking the pathway for them that is most directly connected to their career goals, and we can customize it from there. So how does this work? So typically a student would be working in high school on their high school diploma, and then they might decide to go to a community college for 2 years. And they might work on their associate's degree, and there's an associate of arts, there's an associate of science. Some community colleges have specific associate degrees for transferring to a 4-year university. Some students go straight into a 4-year university, they skip the associate's degree and just go straight for the bachelor's degree. So associate's and bachelor's degree are often called undergraduate programs. And then a student might go on after their bachelor's degree to earn a graduate level degree of like a master's degree or a PhD, medical doctorate, Juris Doctorate, or even an educational doctorate. There's a million of them out there right now. What we're trying to do is combine the ability for students to work on their high school classes and their community college classes, so that at 18 years old, they could then graduate from high school, go into a 4-year university actually as a junior, and within 2 to 3 years be done with their bachelor's degree, putting them out into the work world at 21 with a bachelor's degree, and enabling them to make more money and to live a more comfortable life earlier than many of their contemporaries. So this is a great opportunity for students who are highly academically driven. And we're going to show you how we've worked this out. Now, we currently have arranged enough classes through different types of agreements with Yuba College to help students get up to about 39 college credits just at our high school. These courses are also offered with industry recognized certifications because they're tied to our CTE programs. So a student will graduate with not just their high school diploma, not just an associate's degree, but also industry recognized certifications that businesses will say, okay, so they have academic skills, but they also have technical employable skills also. Doing this kind of program puts a student in a place, like I said earlier, where they can start making a profitable living earlier in their life, saving money on student loans and saving time also. The academies will require a commitment all through high school, and students will need to take 1 or 2 summer courses with Yuba College between their 9th and 10th grade years, their 10th and 11th grade years, and between their 11th and 12th grade years, if they want to accomplish an associate's degree. If they just take classes during their high school years, they're likely to get very close to that associate's degree, but they are going to need to commit to take summer classes and possibly an extra online class during semesters. And I'll show you what that might look like in a student schedule in just a little bit. Excuse me. We're able to offer this early college access program because they're tied to CTE grants. Students are assigned to a CTE cohort that best fits their career goals. A cohort is a group of students in the same grade and in the same pathway. Okay. While students may be placed in a cohort, we can customize their education. And I already covered this, sorry, in the intro. But yeah, just reinforcing that we've adapted these to these CTE pathways. So there's a couple terms you need to know. There's 4 different ways that students can get college credit. We will be publishing a flyer with this information on our website by the end of the week. So you don't need to worry about getting all the slides. You'll be able to download an information sheet with the next couple slides of information on it. So the first way that we have is called advanced placement, and that's the traditional way that people have gotten college credit while they're in high school. We actually have some other information on that. I'm going to turn it over to Shauna for just a moment to start to talk about that advanced placement. And then I'll come back and I'll talk about the rest of those. Take it away, Shauna.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So advanced placement is the more traditional route students have gone in the past to get the college credit while in high school. And there is a huge movement towards these other ways Carol is going to speak about in just a moment. But there is a lot of advantages to still having AP classes available. As you can see, it is a higher level rigor, of course. Students still get a GPA bump for it, which I know a lot of students care about. So you still do get that bump. And the way you get college credit is through a cumulative test at the end of the year, which sometimes is the not so great part about it in a lot of ways. The other thing about it is that sometimes when students might not be 100% ready for that college level course, AP classes are a way that they can still get exposed to more advanced curriculum, but not have the risk of being a technical college student. A lot of these other ways, students will get a grade on their college transcript. So AP courses will still allow students to challenge themselves, but tread a little lighter and not have that official college lingering in the back. So it's still a good opportunity, just the same as the rest. It's just a little bit more traditional, and there's a little bit more not guarantee on the college credit if they pass the class. So they could pass the class at high school, but not pass the test at the end of the year and not be guaranteed that credit. So there's kind of pros and cons to both ways, but APs still provide a little bit more challenging than our typical level courses, with a little bit more security when it comes to the grade not being on their college transcript, but still the opportunity to earn that college credit. And there is a cost associated with the test. It's kind of all on there. I know you all can see the slides, but those will usually be at the end of the year in between April and May. So yeah, and that is AP class, and I'll let Carol take it back over for the other ways.
Great. And there is only one time of year that the students can take those AP classes. They are scheduled by the College Board, and we don't have control over those dates. So it's important that if a student is going to do it, that they're available to take the test on those days. So the next way that's becoming more and more popular with high school campuses all across the country is called dual enrollment. Now, a lot of community colleges will use the word dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment interchangeably. We have decided to call them very different things. Dual enrollment means one thing on our campus, concurrent means another, and I'll explain that in a moment. With dual enrollment, the way that we do this is we have some high school teachers with a master's degree that qualifies them to actually teach at the community college level. So they have been, they've turned in applications with the community college, and the community college has actually hired them as an adjunct professor for their campus. But those teachers are only teaching courses on the high school campuses that they actually work for. The learning outcomes and the labs are the same as a community college course. So if we say we're offering Biology 10L, and Biology 10L is also offered at Yuba College's campus, our teachers are teaching the same learning outcomes and the same labs for that course. Now, a student would be enrolled at Wheatland Union High School, but we would also register them for Yuba College, and they would register for a Yuba College section of that class. But that section is closed only to Wheatland Union High School students. At the end of the class, the student will show the course on the Wheatland High School campus as a pass. But then when the Yuba College transcripts are released and sent to us, we change the student's grade to what, for both semesters, to whatever their college campus grade was. Students sign the agreement at the beginning of the year, and they're notified this is a dual enrollment class. You only have so many days to drop this class. If you don't drop the class, you will have the grade, whatever it is, at the end of the year on your transcript. So it's really important that if a student decides to do a dual enrollment class, that they are committed to following through that for the rest of the school year. With dual enrollment courses on Wheatland High School campus, our board has approved for those classes to get a GPA bump, just like the AP classes. So any class that's a dual enrollment class, and when you get a hold of our new college catalog, which is coming out later this week, the classes will identify in the names, it'll say DE History or DE Biology or DE Business Computer Applications. So in our catalog, it's very clearly marked which courses are dual enrollment. A student can choose to be in the class and not complete the dual enrollment paperwork and just take the grade bump. But if they end up with an A or a B in the class, it's a shame that it wouldn't be on their college transcript, because that would be an awesome record for them. There's no way later on to go back and do that paperwork later on. It has to be done by the college due dates. We are bound by the college due dates. We cannot take anything late or turn in anything late. So this is often also called concurrent enrollment by community colleges, because the student literally is concurrently enrolled at both Wheatland and Yuba College. We identify concurrent enrollment a little bit differently, but I'm going to talk about articulation first. So we have a number of courses on Wheatland's campus where the learning outcomes match a college course, but the teacher teaching it does not necessarily have the master's degree to let them do it as a dual enrollment course. We have been committed to going to Yuba College and organizing our courses to match the learning outcomes so that we can get as many classes as we can that have that college credit availability. So in the case of an articulation course, the course on our campus matches the learning outcomes and the goals of a Yuba College course. And the agreement that we have with Yuba College is that at the end of the first semester, any student that has an 80% or better at the end of the first semester will qualify for the articulation application. In January, right now, we're going into those classrooms and we're saying, if you had an 80% or better, here's the articulation agreement. We're registering students for Yuba College right now, those that qualify for an articulated credit. And at the end of the semester, if the student has passed the entire class with an 80% or better and has received an 80% or better on their final exam or project, we will submit their application for articulated credit. Usually by September or October of the following fall, if the student were to look up their account at Yuba College, they would see that class added to their transcript. It does take a while for the college to process that paperwork because it's not an official class with them. They're just saying, yes, you match, the student has proven that they match that those learning outcomes. Any credentialed teacher can teach an articulated course, which makes it wonderful for us to be able to expand those opportunities. There is no grade bump with an articulated course. We just haven't been able to manage that yet. It may come in the future, it may not. But so the student would have their high school transcript grade, and then later on, it would show on their college transcript that they've completed it at a college level also, and it would show as that college class. So concurrent enrollment is when a community college, when a student is enrolled at a community college and takes an online community college course on their own outside of their normal high school classes. So it's most commonly, it would be an online class or an evening class where they would go on their own. They would do their own transportation. We have a number of students who have actually been doing this for a number of years. And now that we are really promoting it and creating those opportunities for those students, we have probably about 70 students that just signed up for spring online classes. So it's exciting that that many students are pushing themselves to get further along with their associate's degrees. Students must submit their college transcripts to Wheatland High School so that we can turn around and issue them high school credit for those courses also. Yuba College does not just give us the information on students. When a student is a college student, they are a college student, and the college won't talk to us about their college account. The student has to make their own calls and talk to the college if there's an issue. But in our CTE and College Readiness Center, we often sit down with the student and coach them through and sit with them while they make those calls to help them manage any issues that come up. Really important to note here with dual enrollment classes, if a student fails that dual enrollment class in high school, it shows up on their college transcripts when they go to register for college. After high school, they will be submitting any college transcripts that they have completed. And those dual enrollment classes that they failed do show up. If a student's GPA on their college transcript falls below a 2.0, it can have a huge negative impact on their eligibility for financial aid after high school. And we want to put that out because we have had a couple of students that have had a hard time passing some classes, or something in life happened. So their transcripts, now they're having to work to make up that class before they finish high school so that they don't have that negative impact on their college transcript. And students really need to realize that once they enroll in college, they are a college student. Yeah, they're a teenager. Yeah, they're in high school, but they're a college student, and the college will treat them like an adult college student. So here are some of the class opportunities that we have. you'll see that we have a really wonderful selection of courses that students can take throughout their high school years. And the ones in yellow are new classes that we are in the middle of creating agreements right now. So advanced placement, Shauna, did you want to talk any about the courses themselves or no?
There's nothing specifically that I have on the courses. If people have any questions about specific ones, I'd be happy to answer them.
Great. Okay. So you can see we have a lot of different disciplines. We have math classes, chemistry, science, literature, language, psychology, US government, Spanish, history. So we try to offer a wide range so that students have a number of choices that they can make. With the dual enrollment classes, our auto class is a unique class in and of itself. Yuba College actually sends a Yuba College instructor first period every day to teach that class. So we're able to offer it that way. We're looking at offering some other classes in some different ways also. Dual enrollment classes right now, we have our Bio 10L. I believe our Counseling 10 may be going away, but that's okay. Our Pirate Focus Counseling 25 actually satisfies the same course. English 1A we're offering right now. We've already agreed to add English 1C next year. History 4B for sophomores can take that as their world history replacement. And then our juniors for their US history can take History 17B. As a senior, we're adding Political Science 1 next year. That's already been approved. We also have some business classes, business computer applications, and then we are working on an agreement for our business management class. The following year, we will roll out with entrepreneurship. And then we are in the middle of an agreement, and it looks like it's very likely to happen for a medical terminology class this year. We are offering for current 9th, 10th, and 12th graders, we're offering this medical terminology class as a summer course. If you're interested in enrolling, if you're in the 9th, 10th, or 12th grades right now, and you're interested in that medical terminology course over the summer, it's going to be a 6-week course, 3 weeks in person on the Wheatland campus, and then 3 weeks asynchronously. Send us an email at careers@wheatlandhigh.org, and we can get you more information and get you signed up for that. We're working on a public safety agreement where Yuba College would send instructors to our campus for an administration of justice and fire science combination class. And then we're working on a new type of agreement with Yuba College right now to try to offer Statistics 1. And in that case, it's going to be a class where we would have a classroom of students who would be supervised by either a teacher or an academic technician. And we would Zoom in a statistics teacher live every day from Yuba College to teach that course. Sometimes it's hard to get instructors from Yuba College to commit to coming out every day. We have school 5 days a week, and typically they are only teaching 2 or 3 days a week. But it looks like we may have an instructor that's willing to Zoom in daily for a statistics class next year. Our articulation classes, Pirate Focus is a freshman class that all freshmen take. Those students are doing their articulation paperwork right now. And that satisfies Counseling 25. With Yuba College, we just added growth and development as a ECE course, early childhood education. And this actually meets a general education requirement for all disciplines. We have animal science, plant and soil science. We have 2 levels of culinary that have articulated credit with them. We have an articulation agreement for advanced welding and honors engineering with Sac State. And then we're working on adding our principles and practices of teaching class for ECE 1A and our ag leadership. With all this, students can still take online classes anytime they want to. And we can't tell you really what those, what our offerings are there. That's based on the Yuba College catalog. And they release that as the schedules come up. So a student who is a Pirates at Sea student, this is what their 4-year education plan might look like. And I've devised this for a student who may say they want to do either maybe they want to go into law and then or medical. We have a lot of students that say either they want to be a lawyer or a doctor. And we have a lot of students who may say they want to be a teacher. So I did this one for an example of one of our students who may say, I want to be a lawyer and a doctor. So in their first year, in their freshman year, they would take English 1. They might take Pirate Focus, which counts for their Counseling 25. And that class counts towards an associate's degree. It's a requirement for an associate's degree. They would take biology or ag biology. They'd have their freshman PE, Spanish 1. And then they might take dual enrollment business computer apps. And they might decide to take their visual and performing arts. Maybe they want to take a music class or drama or art or floral design or something like that. They would also have the option to do an additional online class in the fall and another online class in the spring, or one or the other. Or they might decide just to wait till summer and they can take up to 2 courses during the summer also. Summer courses usually run either 6 weeks or 8 weeks long. Then in their sophomore year, they'd go on to English honors because we want them in that higher level English to kind of prepare them before they go into the college classes. They would do the dual enrollment world history class, History 4B. They would take chemistry, or we have a couple different choices with chemistry. They'd take their second year of PE, second year of Spanish, and then they might take our dual enrollment business management class, and maybe our dual enrollment medical terminology class. Again, they could take optional online courses, and then for summer up to 2 courses also. Junior year is kind of a heavy year for the Pirates at Sea students. They might take English 1A, History 17B, and Biology 10L, which are all on our campus. They might take the Growth and Development class, an articulated class, which would satisfy one of the general education requirements for any degree that they get. They could take a class called College Bound. This is a study hall period that we have for students in this program. A student needs to be taking 3 college level classes, and it could be a dual enrollment, it could be an AP, it could be an articulated class. Has to have 3 college classes. One of those classes needs to be an online course with Yuba College. So if they're taking an online course, now they have a study period on campus where they have academic technicians and tutors available to them every single day. And they can work on that online course, or they can do homework for those other higher level classes. Depending on how our schedules work with Yuba College, they could take our dual enrollment entrepreneurship class and maybe the patient care 1 class. So this junior year becomes kind of a heavy year for these students. They could back off a little bit if they needed to. You'll see in the next slide how this would work out with credits. And the way I have this laid out is actually more than 60 units. Their senior year, they would move into English 1C. Instead of taking the traditional American government or AP American government, we would put them into a political science 1 class that one of our teachers is now qualified to teach on our campus. They would do that for 1 semester, and then they would do economics for another semester. They could be in College Bound. They might take AP Psychology. That AP Psychology class, if it's passed with a 4 or 5 with the exam, takes the place of Psych 1A on a community college campus. And if they get a 4 or 5 on the exam, most 4-year state universities will take it as Psych 1A also. They have the opportunity to take Patient Care 2. A lot of our seniors do early release after 5 classes because they've met all their high school requirements for graduation. A student on this program still could do early release and open themselves up for even going themselves to Yuba College to take classes. So that's another way that they could do this. So if we were to look at how this would affect a student's grades and units, you can see that in the freshman year, even if they didn't take any online classes or summer classes, they'd still be able to complete 6 units that way. If they did the online and summer units, they would actually have a full semester of community college done. In their sophomore year, they could do up to 3 classes in dual enrollment, another couple classes. They would easily finish their freshman year of high school or their freshman year of community college by the end of their sophomore year. 30 units would be halfway through an associate's degree. If they were to do it the way that I'm showing here, they would have up to 48 units. The junior year would be the heavy load one. They would really start working beyond their, when it says IGETC, that's their general ed units that they need for any degree. And then when it says AA, that would be an opportunity for them to take a class directly related to their associate's major. And then you see by the end of the senior year, they would have all 48 of their general ed requirement units and all of their associate's degree requirements met. And that's how a student can do that. And then this plan also includes completion of 2 different CTE pathways. So they would have industry certifications from 2 different industries with this plan. This is a heavy plan. Let me throw that out there. This is for really, really motivated academic students. One thing that we want to really push with our Pirates at Sea students is that you need to have some fun. This is still high school, and you need to have some opportunities to be involved in clubs and go to games and all that too. So when we get a little closer to talking about the application, it's really important that your student has ways that they can be creative and have just enjoyment outlets also. We do not want to overload your students. We just want to give them the opportunity to do this if they really want to do it. But we're going to be checking in on them occasionally too, just to make sure that they're having a good time. So did you know that students can actually start taking some college courses after completing the 8th grade? So if we have some 8th graders and 8th grade parents online here, with your application, if you would like, once we get your application and we review it and everything, we can give you some suggestions of what your 8th grader might want to take in the summer, this coming summer, if they want to try even just 1 class to see what it's like. Students can take up to 2 classes every summer. That is a Yuba College limitation. So I do have some students occasionally who want to take 3. Yuba College says no more than 2. What should 8th graders take when they're considering? We recommend Counseling 10 online, which is a college success course. And it kind of warms the students up to ideas of what it's like to be in college and gives them some skills and strategies for success as they enter high school and their college journey. We are taking applications right now for all grades and all 4 academies for next year. Your student can come in for a personalized education plan based on their career and college majors. And parents, you are welcome to come too. What's the advantage of being a Pirates at Sea student? Because all of y'all are welcome to just take these classes anyway. Being a Pirates at Sea student does give you a couple little perks here. So if you're accepted into Pirates at Sea, it means that you have priority into those classes that are college level. So our classrooms are limited to 32 students. If I have 40 students that want to take dual enrollment History 4B, I can only put 32 students in that classroom. As a Pirates at Sea student, because you've made that commitment to working towards your associate's degree, we will give you priority into those dual enrollment AP articulated classes. Students always can check ARIES to see how we may have adjusted. So once students select their classes, If they're in Pirates at Sea, we might look it over, and Miss Shauna might make some, they might call you in and make some adjustments to it. Parents, you always have the ability to see what your students' classes are through Aries. Students will have direct access to our CTEC and tutoring centers. Grade checks and study plans take place on a quarterly basis with support from our academic technicians. We want to make sure that your student is succeeding. And if we see that a student is really struggling, we'll do what we can to either put them in a tutoring and study plan with our tutoring center, and they are amazing. Usually within a week or two, if a student is struggling, within a week or two, their grade is back up to an A or B after being in that tutoring center. And the kids are really enjoying the tutoring center too. Our students like to go there. We actually have to tell them, no, you can't go hang out in the tutoring center. You need to have an appointment. So we also do personalized one-on-one education plan meetings in our CTEC center, and those are usually run through Shauna also. Students want to know, well, what classes do I need to plan to take over the next couple years? We can work out the high school education plan, but we can also work out their college plan based on their majors also. So we welcome you to make an appointment and come in and do that. Here's a big perk. If you're Pirates at Sea and you're taking any college courses, even concurrent courses over the summer, we pay for your textbooks. College textbooks can run easily $100 a piece. I just purchased one textbook. It's only about an inch thick. I purchased it for a student. It was $212 used. So these books can be really expensive. And as a Pirates at Sea student, we will provide those textbooks for you. You'll get invitations to different cohort events and priority on college visits once we're in person with those. Pirates at Sea students would get the first opportunities for seats to go check out those colleges also. So are y'all going? Where do I sign up? How do I do this? Shauna, I'm going to have you on my slide deck. Go ahead and grab these links and put them in the chat box. So Shauna's going to put in the application in the chat box for you. It is also out on social media, and we will make sure that there's a spot for it on our high school webpage also. The applications are now open. The application process will close at midnight on February 28th. 9th through 11th grades, once you apply and we review your application, you can come in. We'll call you into the CTEC Center or the Counseling Center in early March for a quick interview. Now that interview, we're going to ask you, what's your career goal? Why do you want to go to college? Do you know that your career goal needs college? And what's your plan to relax? We want to know, what's your plan to have a balanced life and to really maintain happiness while you're doing this? We don't want to hear, when we ask, what are you going to do on your free time? We don't want to hear study. We don't want to hear it. We want to hear you're going to join a club. You're going to join a sport. You're going to join our esports team. We have an esports team on campus now. We want to know what you are doing for fun for you. So please don't think you're going to impress us by telling us your whole world is studying. Okay. 8th graders. In lieu of an interview, what we're going to do is have you ask a current teacher to write a letter of recommendation for you to the program and send it to us at careers@wheatlandhigh.org. It's a super easy way. You don't have to remember any of our names or how to spell our names to get it to us. Just send it to careers@wheatlandhigh.org. Have one of your current 8th grade teachers write that letter of recommendation and send it for you. If you're accepted to the academy, one of our techs will call you in and begin the process of registering you for Yuba College. 8th graders, you can register for Yuba College. Parents, you can do that on your own, but if you would like to get support from us, please feel free to email us at careers@wheatlandhigh.org, and we will try to set up an appointment for you to come in. Occasionally, we're usually closed at at 4 o'clock by 3:30 or 4. But if you make an appointment with us, one of our techs will arrange to stay and help you with that. You can choose to take up to 2 classes in summer breaks. Our academic technicians can also help you with recommending classes that will work for you. Many of the summer classes are completely asynchronous online, so that tends to work for parents who want to travel during the summer. As long as you know you have internet access, your students can still take those summer online classes. And then the final step is you come to high school, you take your classes, and you be successful. We do expect you to come in to us and ask for help when you need it. Don't wait days and days and days wondering how to do something. Come into us quickly and we will help you. And I'm going to stop talking and let Shauna roll off some of those questions that may be in the chat.
I think we have most of them answered.
Great.
I don't know if anyone else has any questions. There was a good question about cohorts, like if the students will see other students, and the Pirates at Sea students are like, you can't really pick them out. They're not like a special area on campus or anything like that. They're integrated into regular classes. As Carol mentioned at one point, like any students can take these classes, but Pirates at Sea students have priority.
Yeah. Anything else? Awesome. We'll start looking at the applications here in a couple days. Carlos, when you're asking what would the 8th grade classes look like, is there something more we can expand on? I know Shauna said the recommendations need to go. Were you talking about the interviews? Fantastic. Well, guys, I'm going to let you go hang out with your family. Oh, how do we go about sending? If you email us at careers@wheatlandhigh.org, that goes to one of our academic techs and she will route it to the best person to meet with you. And we will get right back to you within a day or so and start working on a day and time that we could meet. What the work and assessments would be like. Oh, okay. So it wouldn't be actual 8th graders in the cohorts. Students that are 8th graders now will apply for the academy so that when they're in the 9th grade, they would be part of a cohort. So they would be in their freshman classes. Their English class is going to look the same as everybody else. It's a regular English class. The 2 classes that would have college credit tied to it would be their Pirate Focus class, which every 9th grader takes. It is a graduation requirement, and it's actually, if you can see my background, it's this class here, and it's a career exploration and life planning course for every student. So with that class, what we do is we say, okay, what do you think you want your life to look like in 10 years? And we let them dream about what kind of house they want to live in, what kind of car they want, what kind of family they plan to have in their late 20s. And then we say, okay, how much is that life going to cost you? And then we say, okay, what careers are you interested in that might make the money that you need to live the life you want to live? And then we say, what kind of skills do you need to get the careers so that you can make the money that you say you need so that you can live the life that you want to live? And then how do you get those skills? Do you need to go to college? Do you need to watch a YouTube video? What are the ways that you can get those skills so that you can get the job, so that you can earn the money, so that you can make the life you want to live? And we just back build it that way. And part of that class is also choosing their classes for their sophomore year based on their career goals, which is about what they're about to do next month. And that most community colleges do require a class like that too. So the students could actually get the college credit as a freshman for it.
Hello, I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian. My daughter Livia. She is a future artiste. She's a
Nice.
maestra. Yes. Very good information. Thank you for your time. But I'm curious. When she goes to high school next year, will there be very many art classes that will be able to be like articulated into the Yuba College, or any art classes at all that would be transferable for college credit in high school?
At this time, we don't have any that are articulated or dual enrollment. I do frequently kind of look through those outlines and see if there's anything that might work with a college course. What kind of art is she interested in? Is she interested in any graphic art or anything like that?
Yeah, graphic art, just anime, all kinds of art. If it's art, if she can draw it, yes. I mean, she'll draw it. I mean, that's her
That's
passion. So
awesome.
yeah.
That's fantastic. So we do have a great art program. It's not articulated at this time, but it would give her great foundations for what she needs. And she could also take some online concurrent art courses as well. At the same time, again, we would be happy to customize her education plan so that, maybe she's not doing 2 CTE pathways. Maybe she's got 1 CTE pathway and then she's working on art so that she can build up her skills and maybe go on and do like a graphic design or a graphic arts program.
So this would be like a really good way for her to get rid of all those general education, those intro to comp, intro to psych things. That way she can focus on art when she actually gets to college.
Absolutely. But at the same time, we want to make sure she's enrolled in at least 1 art class all through high school also. And there's room on the schedule with 7 classes during the day. There's room on the schedule for that to happen.
Excellent. All right. You answered my question. Thank you, Carol.
Great. You're welcome. Let me see.
Carol, there's a question about meeting before or after the application's accepted.
Sure, we're willing to do that. Just email us and let us know you want to meet before you turn in your application. We can talk some more. What if I was only interested in getting the Counseling 10 class? So the Counseling 10 is really only college success. And at Wheatland, we really have a philosophy that a student needs to look at what they really want in their life. And so we really, that Get Focused, Stay Focused class or their Pirate Focus class is a graduation requirement in and of itself because it really encompasses a broader scope of thinking. It's not just how am I going to be successful in college? It has some study skills and stuff like that in it also, but it's really why is what I'm doing in high school relevant to what I really want in my life? And so in that class, we're really working on helping students develop ownership of their own education, develop self-advocacy so that they can learn how to ask for what they want, and to really have a life goal rather than just the question, where are you going to go to college? We know that college is great, but there's a lot of life that takes place after college. So that Get Focused, Stay Focused, Pirate Focus class really addresses the greater question. What do you want life to look like? They can do both. If they want to do Counseling 10, it would be elective credits, counted as elective credits on their college transcript. Can you discuss where math is included in the mock student schedule? Yes, let me share that again and I'll go back to that screen. Did I not fit math in there? Oh, look at that. I did. Oh my gosh. I didn't even do. Okay. So we might take out what I'm so sorry, guys. This is why I needed Shauna to look at it a couple days ago. They would have Math 1. So this performing arts might be Math 1. We might take out one of these CTE courses. I'm really embarrassed that I did that. I am so sorry. So ideally, a student would take like Math 1 their freshman year, Math 2 their sophomore year, Math 3 their junior year, and then that statistics course that dual enrollment statistics course. I am so sorry about that. My biggest apologies. Anything else? Well, we'll let you go. Shauna and I will stay on for just a little bit. I'm going to stop the recording.